get unready with us.
While we share our love story part 4. So after my cancer stuff, we decided to move in together in February of 2011. We were working at the same store still, and I did not want to work with him and go home with him. I just did not feel like at the time that was going to be conducive to a healthy relationship that was, still in the beginning stages. And I wanted to pull my own weight. And so I left the store we were at to get a full-time job at a different location.
And I respected that. I respect that you wanted to do that and not allow me to take care of you. And really, we equal. So,
Yes.
So I want to bring just as much as you bring in.
Exactly. So, because I was only part-time at the time.
Yeah.
So after we did that, we realized that hour drive to my job, my new store, from his apartment that we were living in together was not going to work much longer. After a few months of doing that every day, or at least 5 days a week, we decided that we were going to move somewhere a little more in between both stores.
Yeah, once we're close in between both stores, kind of sparked our conversation about, where is our relationship going? Because now we're about to really go and move to a location together.
Where we both were going to be responsible for rent because it was going to be a more expensive apartment. So we were going to basically get into a lease together. We were going to get furniture. We were going to
a lot of things,
a lot of changes. And I always said that I would never intertwine my life to that extent with someone who was not truly committed to me. So I just wanted to know, a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, do you still see us together and happy? If not saying I'm going to leave you, but we're going to stay right here in this apartment where you pay rent and you can by yourself if I was to leave, and I can just pack up the things I came with and I can leave. No car notes in each other's names, no leases in each other's names, no bank accounts intertwined, no responsibility held on either side. We could just part ways and it can be over if that's what ends up happening. It only took him about a few days and lots of conversations, lots of pillow talk and conversations about our future, how we both feel. And one night, the night that all changed, we were sitting on bed and just talking about it. And out of nowhere, he says, I can't see my life without you. Will you marry me? I was not expecting that, y'all. Not even a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the conversation that we had about us going and moving in together in a different place. What I loved about what you were saying was, when we were talking about it, what made me think about deeper into our relationship was that, you was more concerned about where we was going, not about the problem that was going to create by moving in together. You was more concerned about where we was going. And that, that just sparked me up so much because I know you just didn't want to just live together. It was more in tune with our relationship.
I wanted to be intentional.
Yes. So,
I wanted it to be with a purpose.
That's right. After those days of thinking about everything, I just closed my eyes and I just say, you know what? God only allowed me to see just you in my future and no other person. You know what I mean? And that's I didn't want to. Oh, baby.
Oh. Bring it back me.
Yeah, I mean, and I didn't want to see with no one else. I saw our life together, and gosh, we have a beautiful life together. And I was like, man, I can't wait on this. I can't wait on this right now. You know me, when God give me a vision, I'm acting.
He's going with it.
I'm acting like quick.
And he did, and I said yes. And the next day, we went and we picked out a ring, and he had great credit, y'all. But for me, I just felt like I didn't want to break his pocket. It wasn't about that for me. Of course, every girl wants that ring, right? But it just wasn't about that for me. And so I picked out a beautiful bridal set that was, for me at the time, it was gorgeous and like $1,200. And, that's what I wanted. And he was like, are you sure? I was like, I am positive. It's my job is not to sit up here and so wipe your credit card for the biggest rock in here. And I'm thankful because he upgraded me eventually.
And I'd be more thankful. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about one thing for me. It makes you even more attractive to me, knowing that you was really more concerned about us getting married and now more about a ring and that sort of fashion that, hey, it's not the ring of my dream, so I don't want to go to the altar without that. Unless I had a ring that I want. You know what I mean? So that was like, man.
Yeah,
like,
it was pretty special. And then we were walking out of the mall, and I knew he had this ring, right? And so I knew he had this ring, and I was like, okay, when is it going to happen? When is he going to do it? And before I could even touch the doorknob, he pulled my hand away from the doorknob to get into the car, got on one knee in the parking garage, and was like professing his love to me. And it was the most beautiful proposal ever. The way he proposed, it speaks to us. It speaks to who we are. We are very simple, even now in our life together. So it's like, I really didn't need that. We don't even have our wedding photos printed. There's snapshots from the album that the photographer sent us.
Yes.
On my phone. But it's just never, like, that day was a complete blur. Literally, the only thing I remember is watching him tear up, cry, not tear up, full-fledged cry, while he read his vows to me. That's all I remember. I remember our first dance. That's all I remember. I don't remember much else of it. I remember it, but it's just not as important to me. But it was a great moment. Yes. And then the chaos started. We had an 11-month engagement, and my mom was definitely not in a place she just wasn't ready. She wasn't ready to let me go, and it showed in everything that happened. And, it was hard. And I think that's when I realized that, me separating from my mom and making him number one in my main priority was going to be tough. I appreciate him, being willing to let me go through that process and having patience with me.
The whole tension of us, doing that 11-month engagement, I wanted everything to mature the way it's supposed to mature. And not feel like the steps above us transitioning to what we want to move at in life in our marriage. I didn't want anything to be like, force figured out here to figure it out, because there's no natural resolution to that by doing it like that.
I'm gonna give y'all an example of what I'm saying, because I'm not gonna go in depth on everything that happened, because it's just, it's in the past and it is what it is. But one day I told her that at premarital counseling, the pastor said that he is now my number one person in life. My mom, his mom, my parents, they're no longer our number one. They are now our extended family. She said, well, why would he say that? That's not what the Bible said. She said, okay, so you do that. That pushes us away, which in my mind, I'm like, why would that push you away? But okay. And she was like, something happens to you and Jonathan, who you gonna go to? You're not gonna have your family to run to. And I'm thinking, this is exactly what I told her. Why would I marry him if I thought something was gonna happen to us?
Yeah.
I'm not marrying him with divorce being a possibility. I'm not marrying him with the idea that one day, if anything was to happen to you and I, or if you were to move on, or if I were to move on, it doesn't work like that. Jonathan and I, in the 11 months, we had lots of conversations about, our future and how we felt about, divorce and working through problems and being intentional with each other through all processes. And I knew we were going to get a divorce. I knew we weren't going to get a divorce. I knew that I was marrying my person, not because I just wanted to believe that, because we had several conversations and our love had been tried and true already by this point. So it was like, no, I think I'm going to be good, but why would you even think that? But that's just an example of the struggle that she had accepting, that fact. But we worked through it. We got married. It was the best day of our lives.
Man, it passed by so fast. Like the events happening. Like how you say, you remember me tearing up, me remember you seeing you walk, and we did the dance, and then we was like saying bye to everybody.
Yeah, it was very, very quick. And I'm not gonna lie, since then we have been like, man, we could have just went to the courthouse.
Went to the courthouse.
I'm not gonna lie.
It was expensive.
Yeah, we could have went to the courthouse, but we didn't, and we're grateful for the process. I love you, Pumpkin.
I love you too, brother.
Stay tuned for part 5.
Part 5.
Where we talk about our first year and how we ended up getting pregnant with London. Oh Lord, roller coasters.
Yeah. but now, fam, you got to go.
Oh God. Oh God. Yo, we gotta go. Wait, the people.